Maybe you're going to a new school. You have not passed this way before. Maybe you're starting out on a new career. You have not passed this way before. Maybe you're getting ready to get married. Are you looking to get married? You have not passed this way before. Ain't God all right? Maybe somebody is buying a house or looking for a house. You have not passed this way before. Maybe you retired. You're sitting at home. You have not passed this way before. Maybe you're getting older and your body changing. You don't feel like you used to feel. You're dealing with some things. Starting to have hot flashes. Come on. Somebody's starting to have anxiety. You have not passed this way before. Folks, we have just came out of 2023, and I heard even Minister Jeremy going to tap into my message, said even though you come out of 2023 looking into 2024, but still there is some things that still lingering with you from 2023. Now God is saying, I'm about to have you to move into some enchanted virgin territories that you have never passed through. We find ourselves right now, right here where the children of Israel were. They were in the wilderness for 40 years. But now Joshua is saying to them, we are going to go across this Jordan. Ain't God all right? We're going over to 2024. I don't care what ailments you had in 2023, you're going into 2024, but then some of us have fear. Some of us are still holding on, and you live in life like life is the old sameless, the same old every day. You wake up, you're looking for the same thing every day. But I think in 2024, we need to learn to make new choices. I don't know about you, but I'm going to make new choices. In 2023, I made choices. My life not going to be boring because I don't mind stepping out on faith. Life was never meant to be boring. Jesus said, I came that you may have life and have it more. Ain't God all right? He doesn't meant for you to come up, get up every day and say, oh, the same old thing. And then as you get older, you become content. Some things going to be this way, they're going to be this. Let me tell you right now, every day, this is a day that the Lord has made. I said, this is a day that the Lord has made. Because it says your mercies are renewed every day. God's mercy is renewed every day. So I'm not going to go here thinking yesterday going to be just like today. Jesus never did things. Even when he was on earth, he didn't stay in the same old Deacon Gerald. He'd be sitting there and he said, disciples, get that boat. Let's go to the other side. He don't know where he's going. He just said, get a boat. Let's go over to the other side. When they get there, they say, oh, I see why he came over here. There's a man full of demons. Cast the demons out of him. Let me tell you, you got to get up and do something. And many of you saying, well, you know, church folk, church leaders, I'm a preacher there. You in leadership, you in position. Don't sit there and become complacent. Come up with new ideas. What you going to do different than you did last year? Huh? Or you going to keep doing the same thing? looking for different results. That is the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing looking for different results, you crazy. You're going to get the same results. And there are folks say, well, they got a lot of people doing things in the church. I'm just a pew sitter. Let me tell you, on a football team, take 11 people. Can't put but 11 out there at one time. Basketball team, I can't put but 5 out there, Coach Gray, at one time. On the baseball team, I only can put 9 out there at one time. Come on. But in church, everybody can play. You can't talk about I'm a bench woman. You ain't no bench woman in church. You need to get up that bench, and if you can't do them, run down the aisles and try to stir church up. Do something. Some people say, I don't believe in making New Year's resolutions. I do. You can make 10 of them if you want to. At least you might make one of them. See, sometimes you got to do something to get some result. You just can't say, man, I don't believe in no resolution. They ain't going to keep them. No, well, you ain't going to do nothing. No. You need to just make up your mind to make a resolution and say, you know what, at least I'm going to make me 5, but I'm going to try to keep one of them. I wish I had some help here now. I'm gonna find something I can do differently than I did in 2023. Or you want God to give you a miracle in 2024 and you ain't doing nothing. What are you giving God? God, I want a miracle. You want his best, but you give him your less. Oh, ain't this good? Can I tell you, in 2024, you're going to find out there is some place I can play on this team in this church. Huh? If it ain't nothing but waiting in the parking lot, greeting folks. It may be a greeting here, and you're just sitting in the pew and coming in here late. You ought to be already out there and saying, hey, welcome to Pleasant Grove. Where somebody may not be able to get up the stairs, you ought to be a person out there saying, we got somebody donated a real motor machine in the office in there. Have it out sitting, waiting to drive them. Huh? But you want God to bless you, but what are you doing with what he's given you? This 2024, you have never passed this way before. And since you're going to pass this way, and I want to know how in the world in this verse it comes from you have never passed this way before, and God is going to work miracles among you on tomorrow. Oh, go back to that scripture. He said, God going, it said, you have never passed this way before. Huh? And God's going to work miracles, wonders among you tomorrow. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I didn't know I had a tomorrow. I don't know about you, but I got a tomorrow. God is going to work wonders in my life. And tomorrow might be the next hour. Tomorrow may be the next minute. Look at, come on, shout, I got a tomorrow. It moved from you have never passed this way before, and God is going to work miracles. Wonders is miracles. You're going to wonder how he did it. How did God do that? How did God pull down one and set me up? How did God make a way out of no way? Because you never passed this way before. You're going to see God do something this year he's never done before. He's going to work wonders in your life. And somebody says, well, how in the world, Pastor Hare, he's going to work these wonders? Number one, you got to talk to him. You want me to know how he's going to work these wonders? You got to talk to the Lord. Talk to him about it. Tell him. Huh? You know, Joshua in this process, the reason why Joshua told him this, he had been talking to the Lord. How Joshua know he's going to work wonders? You don't know he's going to work wonders unless you done been talking with him. That means you got to get on your knees and pray. You want him to work wonders, that means that you got to find your time to get on your knees and talk to the Lord. How many know when you talk to him, if you listen, he'll talk back to you? I was sitting there thinking about this message, and I was sitting there on the little couch I had there in Cotton, Mississippi, and Dara yesterday morning, she said, Papa, why are you just sitting there staring there like that? I said, you know, it's amazing. I said, what you don't understand, it's amazing that we serve a God. We serve a God that loves us so much that he's got angels around us. He's taking care of us. He loves us. He wants the best for us. Are y'all hearing me? He wants the best for you. He cares about you. And you don't have to go into 2024 fearing. In Matthew chapter 10, verse 29 through 31, he says these words. He says, are not two sparrows sold for a farthing? And one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. Somebody ought to shout with me right there. Come on, not a one gonna fall to the ground without the Father. He knows about every bird that falls on the ground. But the very hairs of your head. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about one by one. Look what he says in verse 31. So what? Going to 2024, fear ye not therefore. You are more valuable than a sparrow. Put your hand on yourself and say, I'm valuable. God getting ready to work wonders among you and in your life because you are valuable to him. He loves you so much, he gave his only son. Not only that you may have life, but have it more. And see, people talk about, when Joshua was talking about going across over in the land Canaan, that they thinking that means you're going to heaven. No. That means he bringing you into the good life with Jesus Christ. You've been in the wilderness too long, and when you cross over, you cross it over into the new life, which flowing with milk and honey, and he's going to supply all your needs according to his riches and glory, because everything in this world, he owns everything. Somebody say, I'm valuable. You may look at me funny, but you don't know how valuable I am. You may think I look funny, but guess what? You don't know how valuable I am. You treat me like I'm not valuable because you think I'm sorry husband. But let me tell you, you don't know how valuable I am. God values me. Somebody ought to tell him thank you right now. Tell him thank you again. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you ain't passed this way before. You better get ready. Put your new gaiters on, your new high heels. Put your little purse. You can walk through there with any other business folks. Because God getting ready to do wonders in your life. You may be retired, but don't sit back like our life is over. Get up and it's new mercies every morning. Find something different to do. You and your wife, you retired, get up and find something to do. Make life back. Don't live life dull. Enjoy life. Because the rich man gonna die and the poor man gonna die. Why not enjoy life? I heard Solomon say, eat, drink, and be merry. Look at your neighbor and say, be happy. Stop walking around here saying, be happy. God don't want you dull. I'm glad about him. Wonderful. Help me preach, preacher. Ain't God all right? I dare you to wave your hand one time right now. Ooh. Matthew 7 and 7 through 11, you got to talk to him about it. He said, ask. How many asking for something? Anybody asking for something? He said, if you ask, and it shall be given you. Oh. You ain't asked him. You've been complaining, but have you just said, Jesus, I want some money? Have you just said, Jesus, I want some healing? He said, ask. I'm looking for a husband. Have you asked him for one? And ask him for the one that you're really looking for. Ask, and it shall be. See, you can't sit around the house ain't looking for it. When I ask, guess what I'm going to start doing? I know I asked him. It's somewhere. Oh, can I preach in here today? You ask, and then you start looking. Because guess what? It's on the way. That's why you can high-five somebody and say, "How you, girl, what about that shit?" Girl, it's on the way. You just like a woman at the bus stop, patting her foot. The bus ain't got there yet, but it's on the way. Sitting on the bench. Come on, somebody. Somebody ought to be patting their foot right now. Because it's on the way. Whatever you need, it's on the way. Because you didn't ask, now you're going. And he said, and you knock. See, if you ask and then nothing don't happen. When I ask, anybody home? They don't come to the door. You coming up out of here. Come on. If you holler and they don't answer, hit on that door. Like you're going to break it. You're going to burst my window. You get up there. Oh, I feel like preaching here. Somebody say you got to knock on it. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, if you ask and you've been seeking, you ain't got it, knock on it. Somebody ought to shout glory. And it shall be for everyone that ask it, what? What? Everyone that ask it. Oh, we get quiet now. You ain't asked nothing. Now, he that seek it, and to him that knock it, they coming to the door. Because I want in. Look at somebody's neighbor. In 2024, I'm knocking. I'm seeking. I'm asking. And I'm knocking on the door. Because I know you're home. Because we serve a God that don't sleep nor slumber. I know he's there. He's there all the time. Kind of wave your hand and say, he's there all the time. He's just waiting for you to ask. He's waiting for you to have some faith to knock. He's waiting for to have your whole heart seeking him. He wants you to seek him with your whole heart and knock with faith and ask him with faith. And when you ask with faith and you knock with faith and you seek with faith, guess what? He's going to give you what you're asking for. Somebody shout glory. Somebody say you need to talk to him. Because Romans 8:15 says these words, for ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. You don't need to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption. You know why I walk around my chest out? I'm his child. I don't have to fear nothing because I've been adopted into a royal family. A family that the daddy owned everything. Why should I fear in 2024 when my father owns everything? Whatever I need, he will supply. just come to him and say, Abba, Father. Huh? What Father? Ain't God all right? Somebody said, glory. Kind of lift your hand and say, I ain't fearing no more. I'm in a royal family. Somebody tell him, thank you. Then, secondly, Joshua says to them, if you want God to work wonders among you, I need you to consecrate yourself. You can't hang with the same folks looking for a miracle. You can't hang out with the same crowd and still want God to do a miracle. You can't live like you used to live and want God to do a miracle. You gotta let loose some stuff, turn some stuff away. He says in that word right there in Joshua 3 and 5, look what he said. He said, and Joshua said unto the people, sanctify yourself. You know what sanctify means? Set apart. It ain't no denomination. It's a consecration. I wish I had 5 people in here to know what consecrate means. You got to walk away from some stuff. Some things you've been dealing with in 2023, they can't hang on to me in 2024 because I'm leaving them behind, because I'm consecrating myself, because God's getting ready on tomorrow to do wonders in my life. If you want him to do wonders, walk away from some stuff that's been holding you. Isaiah 59, 1-2 says these words. He said, behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save. He's still in the saving business. You wondering, I wonder, can he save? Yeah, baby. He got a long hand. He got an Inspector Gadget hand. He'll come, if he have to reach way down, he'll scoop you up, baby. You may be laying in the mud, but the God I serve, he'll scoop you up. His hand ain't short that he can't save, neither is his ear heavy that he can't hear. Every time you cry to the Lord, how many know he hears you? He will hear you cry and answer back. How many know he'll answer you? If you call him, he'll answer you. Somebody tell him thank you. Thirdly, I'm getting on out of here. Thirdly, make sure that your will don't matter. Huh? Make sure your will ain't in the matter. See, sometimes when we want God to do something, we get into what we want. Your will don't matter. Sometimes we want that promotion, but look, you know what I learned? I learned how to tell God, if this promotion not good for me, don't give it to me. But if it's for me, give it to me. But don't try to make yourself have something that he's protecting you from. Have anybody ever watched that movie Doom? Where that king, he's sending these people to this place, and they thought he was trying to help them, and he was setting them up for failure. Ain't God all right? See, sometimes you get set up for failure when you get in yourself. That's why Jesus got in the Garden of Gethsemane. You know what Jesus said? Not my will, but let your will be done. If this job ain't for me, I don't want it. But if that job for me, God, give me what's for me. I'm not going to make it for myself. Been there, done that. It didn't work out. You're setting yourself up for. I wish I had some help here. Fourthly, let's get out here. Delight yourself in the Lord. Psalm 37:4. It said, delight yourself in the Lord, and he shall give you. See, when you consecrate yourself and delight yourself in him, you ain't sitting around missing church 4 Sundays and come 1 Sunday. Ain't no way in the world I can sit at home and miss church 3 Sundays and then come 1. You ain't delighting yourself in the Lord. Let me tell you, God comes first in your life. That's why Joshua told these people, when you see the ark, can I get a witness? When you see the ark, and the priest bearing the ark, you follow behind it. The ark was made of a case of wood. It had a solid gold seat on it. It was a box. And inside of that box, it had the tablets with the commandments on the inside. And in that box, it had Aaron's rod that budded in that box. On the side of that box, it had the cherubim. And that gold covered seat was the mercy seat, where God dwelled. Back then, you followed God. Come on, somebody. He said, when that moves, you move. In 2024, when God moves, you move. Whatever God tells you to do, you do it. If you want a miracle, you got to follow God. You can't follow in and everybody. You got to follow God. You can't follow this and can't follow that. You got to follow God. Whatever God tells you to do, you better walk in it. And don't go past him. He says, stay a few steps back. Because he's gonna prepare the way for you. And you just follow where he's going. He's going to work wonders among you if you just follow him. And then, next, give God the credit. Don't walk around here, well, girl, I went up and I told them people this. And I told them, say, give God the credit. Girl, they thought they were going to do me like that, but when I went in that mean girl, I said, shut up. Said God did it. You ain't got enough sense to do it. I know I only have enough sense to do it. I don't know how to do it, but I know he can do it. And he'll do it every time. I dare you to say he'll do it. Give God the credit. Joshua said to them, follow God. Come on now. In that verse, in the same verse, going on 37, Joshua 3 and 6, right there at 4, 5, and 6, he said, and Joshua speaking unto the priest, saying, take up the ark of the covenant and pass over before the people. And they took up the ark of the covenant and went over before the people. And the Lord said unto Joshua, this day will begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel. Joshua said, God is going to do wonders among you. Not Joshua. Not Hilton Hair. God's going to work the miracle in your life. He may work through me and use me as a point of contact, but I didn't do it. Pastor Hare prayed for me, and but said God did it through Pastor Hare. I need about 3 people say give God the credit. When you get blessed, and then one other way you give him the credit, when you come back to church, you give him some praise, you give him what he deserves. Come on, somebody. Don't sit around like you were so smart. Then, as I close, he said, y'all just walk behind that ark. Then watch God. You just rest. And let God do the rest. You just stop and let God do it. You just walk behind him. Don't you try to do nothing. You just obey God. Is that right? I made up my mind in 2024 that I know God is going to work wonders. I'm ready for the wonders. I've consecrated myself. I've got on my knees and stayed before God and told the Lord what I want. I've asked him. Now I'm looking for it. I just need somebody to go this way with me. If you want miracles in 2024 and you want your life changed, then I need you to follow God. When you see the priest step in the water, when you see somebody that's got faith, this was at flood season. The Jordan was over flooded, but the priest still had faith. We don't know what you're saying, Joshua, but you said, God says, you're going across this Jordan. And we're just crazy enough to believe that if we do what you said, God is going to do it. Can I get a witness in here? When they stepped in the water, my brothers and sisters, the water stood up on one side and stood up on the other side. Somebody said, must have been some little water. Well, it was ankle deep water, and it wasn't no miracle. Ain't God all right? But can I tell you, hallelujah, when Moses went across, but if he drowned Pharaoh in 2 feet of water and his whole army, it's still a miracle. Can I get one witness in here? So I know I serve a miracle working God. I don't serve a God that can't do the impossible. I serve a God that specializes in the impossible. He can work it out. Why you trying to figure it out? He's already worked it out. Oh, Lord. Is anybody here loving right now? Why? When they stepped in the water and the water parted, then all the other people followed in after them. Yeah, when you see Pastor Hare praising God, you ought to praise God too, because that means that God is doing something. Ain't God all right? I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of that wilderness. I don't need to be somewhere doing the same thing for 40 years and one of these days die and don't live abundant life. If I stay down here some more years, I want these to be the best years of my life. Is it anybody here love the Lord? Do you want this to be the best years of your life? Well, starting in 2024, I want this to be the best year that I've had in my life, because I'm looking for God to work wonders in my life. Anybody need a miracle right now? You ought to wave your hand and say, the God I serve, he's going to make a way out of no way. The God I serve, he's able, he's able. I dare you to say he's able to raise up a bowed down head. He's able to give peace to a troubled mind. He's able to unlock those doors. He's able to open that window. He's able to heal your body. He is a miracle worker. Anybody know it? If you know he's a miracle worker, wave both hands and say, he is a miracle worker. He is my joy. He is my peace. He brought me out of 2023. I went through some tough time, but the God I serve, he held me. He rocked me when I got weary. He held me when I felt like I was falling. He picked me up when I was falling down. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? If you know he'll do it, spin all around. Tell your neighbor, we serve a God. He's able. He's able. He's able. can say, yeah, ain't God all right? Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? He's all right. He's all right.